In time, you will know what it's like to lose. Dread it, run from it. The end is near.
We got one advantage. We have what Thanos wants. So that's what we'll use.
I think it's good, except it sucks. So let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
Wow.
Today we don't fight for one life. We fight for all of them.
Groot, put that thing away. Now, I don't want to tell you again. Groot.
Hey, Groot.
Whoa, language!
Hey everybody, we got all kinds of new Marvel to break down this morning. New Avengers footage, bleeding armor activation. We got a much better look at Iron Man's new armor, and new Winter Soldier behind the scenes. They pretty much started their press tour, so if you remember the funny videos that they were posting before Captain America Civil War, those are probably going to start dropping really soon too, because we're less than a month away from the movie getting here. So if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. I'm doing an Infinity Gauntlet replica giveaway. All you have to do to enter that is just be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. So obviously everyone's freaking out about the bleeding edge armor. The way that it works looks a lot like the Black Panther costume, albeit with a more Iron Man twist. It looks much more mechanical. The Black Panther suit is made to look a little more organic, like a blend of nature and technology. Iron Man is like the pure technologist. So a lot of people have talked about Shuri and Iron Man and their relationship during the course of the film, because they've been very vague about how much Iron Man knows about what's going on in Wakanda. But I think we're only a stone's throw from endosim armor, depending on whether or not Iron Man survives these next two films. There's still a big question about who walks out of these alive. But if you're not a big comic book reader and you don't know the difference between the bleeding edge armor and the endosim armor is something that would have to come after a couple big twists within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because it's technology that's based on the symbiote, and we haven't had symbiote inside the Marvel Universe yet. I know that we have Venom coming up, there's the Spider-Man connection. We still don't know exactly how they're going to explain that, other than it's going to be a very Planet of the Symbiotes twist where something crashes to Earth, the symbiote is inside of it. So either some sort of asteroid or some sort of invasion, somehow the symbiote crash lands on Earth. That could be because of the events of Infinity War. That's still wide open for speculation. But as you can see, just like Black Panther's suit, the bleeding edge armor comes via nanites that come out of the arc reactor that's in his chest. So you have a bunch of nanites that are housed in there that formed the armor around him as he needs it. So he does have a biological link with it. His body is integrated with it, but it's not like Extremis. It's not housed inside of his bone marrow. The nanites of the bleeding edge armor is sort of a half step on the way to symbiote, where you literally don't need anything and it can become anything, and it looks kind of like liquid metal. The nanites here, it still looks very mechanical, even though it's a big upgrade from his homecoming armor.
If you even cared, you'd actually be here.
But even though we haven't seen it in the trailers yet, they have released pictures. You can see wings and stabilizers that stick out of his back. That's so that he can fly when he's in orbit or zero gravity environments. They're just extra weapons that come out, extra layers, but it's basically the suit reforming as he needs it. So like his arm can turn into a blaster, but that's not because he lost his arm. That's just because the nanites that form that metal arm reform into a cannon that he can then fire. That's where you get to endosim armor. So that armor is directly tied into people's brains. It's based on symbiote technology, so it appears to be liquid metal, but it's a much more badass version of what you're seeing happen with these nanites and the bleeding edge armor form around him. Imagine a much quicker version of this, like when the symbiote is forming around Venom or forming around Spider-Man. But because it's Iron Man armor, you can also form hand cannons, repulsors, anything that the Iron Man costumes have been able to do. It can increase its durability, so it could turn into the Hulkbuster. It can form into anything that he wants it to be, so that your one suit becomes like the 50 billion different suits that Iron Man has created in his armory. So it negates the need for having a physical armory that houses all these different suits. But the other big part of this is we see some new Scarlet Witch. They've been doing a lot of interviews because the press tours have started, and the directors, the actors have basically said that the weird romance, as they describe it, between Vision and Scarlet Witch is meant to be the heart of Infinity War. Like they're using that as sort of the emotional through line of the film that carries you forward. So Vision is a living MacGuffin himself because it's all about the Infinity Stones, collecting those to form the Infinity Gauntlet. But sort of hand in hand with that, they want to get you to care about the story because of Vision and Scarlet Witch. So I think a lot of your enjoyment of their storyline just depends on how you feel about those characters. Like if you really don't care about them, then you're probably just here to see the Infinity Stones. Like I just want to see Thanos kick everyone's asses. I want to see some funny character interactions, and I want to see that gauntlet. But I think that Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Bettany, they're great actors. They could probably sell it a little bit, and it is fun to see them do comic book things, even if Vision and Scarlet Witch aren't the hugest comic book characters as they've been presented so far in the MCU. Like Scarlet Witch doesn't have her chaos magic. I'm really curious to see if she's going to lose her shit like she does in the comics when Vision gets the Mind Stone taken from him. Maybe it looks like he's dead, maybe that triggers her. She kind of did that when Quicksilver died during Age of Ultron, but she wasn't nearly as powerful then. She's way more powerful now. She's way more powerful now. So as of right now, the most powerful Avengers before Captain Marvel shows up are Hulk and Scarlet Witch, mostly because you don't know what her limits are. Probably one of the best things they did was tying her origin to an Infinity Stone because there's so much that we don't know about it, so they could do whatever they want to with the character. Like they could say that she's crazy powerful, and that would make sense because the Infinity Stones are so powerful. But just let me know in the comments, what are you looking forward to from her storyline? I get a lot of Scarlet Witch questions, and yes, obviously I think that she's going to survive to Phase 4. I don't think she's going to die during Avengers 4 or anything like that. And I think that she will also be critical to getting the gauntlet off of Thanos' hand. She's one of the few people that can actually manipulate the gems using their power. The other wild card in all this is obviously going to be Captain Marvel, but most of what she was originally going to be doing during Infinity War got pushed to Avengers 4, so it's still wide speculation on what the origin of her powers are going to be and how she'll be able to fight Thanos when he has the full gauntlet assembled, because she does absorb power, but the idea of the Infinity Gauntlet is that it's the most powerful thing in the universe. Most of that Winter Soldier behind the scenes looks like it's just coming from this Outrider invasion. Sebastian Stan has been telling all kinds of jokes about how he's only read about 10 pages of the actual Infinity War script, 10 pages where he's actually speaking. Most of the rest of it is him either standing around reacting to stuff or him in big battle scenes like this, which doesn't require a lot of dialogue. So they did say that a lot of the dialogue that the actors get during moments like that, when they're just like running around in big battle scenes, was improvised. Like they didn't give the actors more pages of script than they needed to for their scenes. So most of the actors actually have no idea how the entire film fits together. Like they confirmed that there are only 5 people on that production that have read the entire script, and that includes the 2 Russo brothers and the 2 screenwriters, which is 4 people. That other one person may have been Robert Downey Jr., but if you've ever watched the behind the scenes with him, a lot of his dialogue ends up being improvised. Like they'll give him a script, so he'll have an idea for what the character needs to be doing in the scene, but then he'll just try a bunch of different versions and make it his own, just because he's that fantastic. So big question, not counting Kevin Feige, who's that one other person that got to read the entire Infinity War script? Definitely not Mark Ruffalo, definitely not Tom Holland. If you guys didn't see, Donald Glover dropped a huge Deadpool bomb this morning about why the Deadpool TV series got canceled. There was also a new Deadpool trailer that just dropped, so I'll do a new video for that next, and in that video, I'll talk about what Donald Glover did in this crazy script that he tweeted out, because it's not actually a script, so I'll explain what's going on with that. It's really cool, but really WTF at the same time. Click here for that other big Infinity War trailer that just posted, and click here for the Deadpool trailer. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.